Hello, Neil. I have some exciting news. Chris just gave me an appointment for an interview.
Chris? You mean the award-winning filmmaker?
Yes, I've been trying to get an interview with him for 3 months.
Wow! Congratulations!
I need to meet with you before I interview him. Would you be able to spare some time for me tomorrow?
Sure. Does 4 p.m. work for you?
That's perfect. I'll come over to your office. See you then.
Bye. Hi, Aria. How are you?
I'm doing well. Excited about the interview.
That's understandable. He is a great filmmaker. Congratulations. But before we talk shop, let me get us some coffee. Black, no sugar, right?
Yes, please.
So tell me, how can I help you?
Well, Neil, as you know, Chris is differently abled. I remembered you were planning to write an article about disability etiquette, and I was hoping you could give me some tips before tomorrow's interview.
Sure, I can help you with that. I'm glad to see that you are being sensitive as a journalist.
Thank you.
Well, to begin with, I believe it's good to use language that is universally acceptable. So, it is better to say Chris has a disability rather than calling him differently abled or even specially able.
But I thought specially abled sounds polite.
Well, people with disabilities don't like to be singled out and be called different or special. Think about it. Isn't everyone in this world specially abled or differently abled in some way? Isn't a good singer differently abled?
Now that you put it that way, it makes sense. Even good journalists have to have a special ability.
Exactly. And when you later write about this, you should avoid the term wheelchair-bound. You can just say that he uses a wheelchair or is a wheelchair user, and that too if you have to.
I don't understand. Are you saying I shouldn't mention it?
No, it depends on the context. But remember that first and foremost, Chris is an award-winning filmmaker. His disability is not his identity. We remember Agatha Christie as a great author, not as a person who had a learning disability, right?
Oh yes, I believe she had to dictate all her novels.
Yes, indeed. By the way, where are you meeting Chris?
He's currently shooting his film at the university ground, so he has called me there.
In that case, you better find a chair and sit down so that you are at his eye level. You need to consider his comfort while talking to him. And remember that the wheelchair is his personal space. You should never touch it without his permission. The same goes for someone's walking stick. Never assume that the person needs help from you.
Yes, that makes sense. Respect and empathy are both very important.
Indeed, empathy. That's the word. People with disabilities don't need or want sympathy.
What else do I need to keep in mind?
Let me explain a few important do's and don'ts. While writing, avoid using judgmental terms such as victim, afflicted by, invalid, or unfortunate. Also, words such as handicapped, crippled, deformed, retarded, etc. are considered dehumanizing. Secondly, I've seen people describe disability itself as a disease, which is incorrect. Disability is quite often a condition that is caused by a disease or an injury. In fact, assistive devices like hearing aids, mic crutches, and even spectacles help in coping with the condition and overcoming barriers. We don't even realize that spectacles are assistive devices. It is important to understand the nuances.
Oh yes, we journalists need to do much better. Just the other day I realized that it was better to use the term typical or even non-disabled instead of normal, while referring to people who do not have a disability.
You said it, normal is a statistical term. What is a normal person anyway?
That's true. Is there anything else I need to know?
Nothing more for your interview with Chris. For your future reference, I'll send my article to you when it's ready.
Thanks a ton, Neil, for your help and guidance. I feel much more confident about tomorrow's interview now. Once you're done with your article, would you conduct a sensitization session for my fellow journalists in my organization?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Thanks.